So, like, as far as your career, seriously, like, I know you kind of touched on what got you into politics, but what, like, took you over the edge to decide you wanted to do that?
That you were going to
Like,
run.
to actually run. It's different to, like, be into politics.
Mm-hmm. And then run.
Because I'm into politics. But to review, I like to hide under desks. I would never do it.
At elementary school class parties.
People scare me.
Yeah, it is. It's been a wild ride, that's for sure. I've always been super political. So I've always volunteered on campaigns. And part of the inspiration for me is, so I've had a career in marketing and advertising. I've worked for several agencies here in Kansas City, and I opened my own agency in 2018. Wow. I'm a writer. I'm a creative director. I love what I do. I think I'm pretty darn good at it.
What do you write?
Advertising copy. So advertisements, billboards, website content.
Hi, sort of I have a journalism degree. Pick me.
Oh.
Pick me.
I could have gotten a journalism degree, but I went with communications instead.
Right. They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Except one's way more prestigious.
Is it though?
Yes. People think that communications is a cop-out. And I'm like, you say that,
you have to
but
do
I know
the
how
work.
to tell people shit.
Right. So all the things that you just said sounded very sophisticated.
Yeah. Super fancy.
You are fancy.
Well, look at you.
Good with
fancy.
I am so not fancy. I am drinking boxed wine in a tank top because I am sweating right now.
Okay.
So that's
me too.
Fancy.
Literally, I'm drinking boxed wine in a tank top that says "Shut up, Karen."
So I was wondering who was being shut up on your shirt. I can only see "shut up." It's like, shut up who?
Who? This white cat, and its name is Karen.
What we're discovering is that journalism and communications are equal.
Yes.
Tank tops and boxed wine.
Boxed wine.
We're basically the same person.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned.
We're the same.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
So I had this career in marketing and advertising, and after I started my business, I started getting more involved in organizations up here in the Northland, like Moms Demand Action and Northland Progress. Mm-hmm. And I met some people who were really involved in politics. And I started thinking, how can I use what I do to help in the political realm? And I was like, I can brand campaigns. I can help people with their branding. I can build websites for candidates. I started thinking of all these things that my agency could do to help. And so we started there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with James Shackelford, who's running in the 16th district. He's a good friend of ours. He and his wife are really amazing people, adore them. We branded his campaign. We built his website. We helped him when he was just kind of starting out and getting off the ground. And between that and all of the other stuff I was doing, I just started getting more connected in this world, and really just meeting more people and kind of seeing what people do and how people are really involved in politics. And I will say that happened around the same time I read the book Sapiens. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Sapiens. It's
I'm
a brief
familiar.
history of humankind.
I have not read it.
It's a beast. Again, a really good listen. I don't think I could have tackled it reading it. I think I would have been really intimidated. It basically talks about the history of humans from, Neanderthals to now. And it talks about the societies we've built and the religions we've created and the political, empires we've built and that have crumbled. And I mean, just everything. And the biggest takeaway that I took from reading that book, listening to that book, is everything is a fucking construct. We have made everything up from day one. So I have lived a life where I have taken in all of this information from people and I've just taken it as gospel. And I was never, not that I never thought critically, but I didn't think critically enough about what was being fed to me. And when I started looking at that in the political context, and also having I lived in Des Moines, Iowa in 2015 and 2016. So, of course, Iowa is ground zero.
Is that a big old swing state? Yes.
No, it's pretty red now.
It is?
Yeah,
Ew.
it's pretty red. But it's the state to be in if you're running for president.
That's
dumb.
I was at,
sorry, Iowa, I didn't mean it. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, Iowa's like super duper white. So the fact that it like can determine a presidency is shocking. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I was there. I was at Hillary's campaign kickoff event. I met her. I volunteered on her campaign. Like the moment she announced, I was like in it to win it. Like I knocked doors. I mean, on election day, 2016, I knocked doors for 12 hours to get out the vote. I came home, I poured myself some bourbon, and I cried the rest of the night. Like it was rough.
It was because it was November 8th, right? When the world went to hell. Because the next day was Anna's birthday, and I had been up like the whole night before just sobbing, and she woke up and she was like, did Hillary win? Did Hillary win? And then I was like, no. And I was like crying because it was horrible. And then she was like, this is the worst birthday ever. And I was like, baby, I'm so sorry.
I tried my best.
I voted. I don't know.
Oh, bless her heart.
It's like, she was so sad.
So bad. I was actually separated from my ex-husband at the time. And I was living alone in our house in Iowa, and we hadn't talked for a while. He called me the next day to check in on me.
He was like, are you okay?
Are you okay? Like he was legit concerned about like if I had gotten out of bed or
do you need do you need anything? Some coffee?
No, he didn't go that far. Let's not get crazy. He didn't offer anything. He just checked in.
Are you alive? Okay, goodbye.
Noted. Click. Yeah, it was basically that. But yeah, so being in Iowa and being in a state where a ton of presidential candidates kind of came through, and I got to actually like meet them. Like, I saw Ted Cruz up close and personal at the Iowa State Fair.
Ew.
He's a smarmy motherfucker.
I know. I would just like to slap that smirk off of his face.
He's so gross.
I hate him.
Being there and getting involved in that level, and then coming back to Kansas City, and I knocked doors for Sharice Davids and Claire McCaskill in 2018, and Matt Sane, who is our current state rep, in 2018, and he flipped our district, and that gave me so much hope. He flipped our district by only 88 votes. I don't know if you know that.
No.
But yes, that's how it happened. But he also beat an incumbent, which is saying
hard
something
to do.
But this race is an uphill battle. Like it is not a given. So we've got, shit to do. But
shit.
So yeah, so basically getting involved in politics was really, it was kind of I kind of slid into it kind of slowly. But by the time I was really ready to run, it was an amalgamation of all of those things in my head, thinking like everything's a construct. We've made this all up. Who is to say that someone who doesn't think like a politician, isn't a lawyer, can't go in and say, I've got some ideas. I saw people like Sharice Davids winning, AOC winning. I mean, like there are people who are outside of the establishment who are getting in there and speaking up for folks who haven't been heard. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a voice for people who feel like they don't have a connection to their government. All of the lit that I'm dropping off on doors, I don't know if you guys have gotten a flyer from me or anything.
I have.
Excellent. So all like the phone number that's on there, that calls to my cell phone. I pick up when people call. I will answer when people call me.
You guys have girl, you brave.
I mean, I've had like people text me and be like, I'm voting for you. Like I had someone send me a really funny GIF once, like an office GIF, and like that made my day. I'm pretty sure I posted it on Facebook, and I was like, text me.
Please
Be
text
funny like
me.
this lady.
Please like me. It's the only thing that makes my day better.
Yeah. But like, I want to be that. And I think that's really important. And I realize that like, I'm in a position where I can do that. I own a business, so I'm flexible. I can scale up or scale down, however, whenever I need to. Mm-hmm. I'm a stepmom, but I'm not a biological mom. I do not have a full-time mothering gig that I feel that I have to attend to, nor will I ever. So I'm in a good position. I can go to Jeff City a few days a week and legislate and come back and still run my business. I have an incredibly supportive husband who's just the best in the whole world. And so he's super supportive and wants me to succeed and is helping me. I mean, he was probably the one who dropped lit on your door, I'm pretty sure. Because he was
thanks, hubby.
Yeah. So like, he's great. And I'm so lucky. And so I just realized that I'm in a position where not only do I have a lot of opinions, do I have a unique background and a unique perspective to bring, but also that I have the energy and I have the grit to do it. Running for office isn't for everybody. It's kind of a shit show.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. I may have cried at dinner tonight.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to cry at like the best place possible. And sometimes it's dinner.
Sometimes it's dinner. Sometimes it's a bedroom. Sometimes it's a podcast.
Sometimes, I'm known like to just like ugly silent cry, like try not to get sobs onto the podcast. Because,
So, we live in a red state.
Ew.
Yeah.
So what do you tell voters who think their vote doesn't matter?
Here's what I'll say. We live in a very gerrymandered state.
Yep.
Missouri should be purple. But 10 years ago, the Republicans redistricted, and they did it in their, to make sure that they all got reelected. Mm-hmm. Of course.
Cheating.
That's shocking.
So we don't live in a red state, and that's what's really important to remember. We rejected right to work as a state. We approved Clean Missouri as a state. We approved expanding Medicaid as a state. We approved medical marijuana as a state. We are not a red state ideologically.
Right.
We are in a place in our politics where people are so polarized. People have chosen a team. They are either right or left. And they choose people to idealize on each side. But the issues they believe in, it's a gray area. It's not black, it's not red and blue. It's purple in the middle. People are on a spectrum. And so what I do is I tell people, fill out your census. For the love of God, fill out your census.
I did.
Be counted. But also,
I did too.
Your vote does count. And your vote counts even more if you can spend a little extra time in your life interacting with your democracy. Whether that is connecting with your local leaders, whether that's voicing your opinion in the legislature, whether that's getting involved in a group. Like, I got involved in Moms Demand Action, and then I went down to Jeff City and lobbied my legislators about enacting gun violence legislation. That's incredible. What an incredible experience and opportunity to go to your state capitol and talk to your state rep, talk to other state reps, talk to state senators, and talk about the issues that matter most to you. So maybe find a pet issue, whatever that is. For me, it was gun violence. For some people, it's education. Run for your school board. If you're worried about what kids are learning, I think right now we should all be worried that kids aren't learning correct history. I sure as shit didn't.
Correct. Like, it's depressing.
American history is
it's
right
so
now.
fucked, and it's whitewashed to
so
hell.
Bad.
It's
It's
bad.
so bad. There's a fantastic teacher who I'm going to shout out because
I think schools teach white privilege. Like that's
right. Absolutely they do.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a teacher up in Nottoway County. Her name is Jess Piper, and she teaches in Maryville. And she is super vocal on Twitter. She's super vocal on social media all across the board. She's actually now working with the Lincoln Project as a rural Democrat who is like very outspoken. She teaches, I think, American history. And she is always talking about how important it is to make sure our kids are learning what really happened.
Like actual history?
Right.
Yes, exactly. So, run for your school board, get involved. I think we've all gotten complacent. And I think a big part of that for progressives is we had Obama for 8 years and we felt real good about that. Right. And so we didn't work as hard.
I did feel good about that.
I know. But while he was in office, you guys, we had the Tea Party movement infiltrating. We had, Mitch McConnell gaining power. We had Trump moving in and basically showing us how racist our country really is. And so we have to remember that good government doesn't just happen. We have to make it happen because that's what a democracy is. We all have to participate, whether that's just knocking doors for a candidate or making calls for a candidate or sending them $5 or voicing your concerns to your representatives. Whatever it is,
I feel like
have to participate.
I do that all the time. Where you can just have the letters sent and it automatically.
Like Resist Bot?
Yes, Resist Bot. I love that shit because it makes it super easy to just tell them what you want because you can just type it out and they send the letter for you.
Yep.
Have you met Josh Hawley in person and did he try to suck your soul out? This is a real question.
No, but I assume he would if I did.
Okay, cool.
This is why we're friends.
I'm sorry. I hate that guy so fucking much.
He's such a Fox News attention whore. It is embarrassing. I'm like secondhand embarrassed for him all the time.
I'm just embarrassed to be in the same state as him. And I hate him. I hate him so much. And I constantly tell him how much I hate him on Twitter.
I do that to Governor Parson.
I hate that guy too.
He's who gets most of my Twitter.
Deputy Dog. I hate that guy.
I like to remind people every single time I tweet about him that he was unelected.
Yeah, he was not elected.
Elect him to be governor.
He just got shooed in because
from the other bad guy.
Greitens with this stupid fucking
bigger garbage person.
His stupid gun commercials. I'm like, ugh. How did this happen?
I just want to say that I want to be friends with Ashley.
Right. Right.